What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So in this video, I did want to talk about something here in the Solar Crown Beta that I do feel like other players are thinking about, and that is going to be, do you guys think making money in Test Drive is going to be difficult? Now, I do have to admit right now we don't really know what the game is actually going to have in it, so it is probably going to be hard to judge it or be like, yo, making money from these races is going to take forever. Buying one of the expensive cars is probably going to take forever. But here's my thoughts on this, though. I do feel like the game actually gives you a good amount of ways to make money from, like, the daily challenges. You can make around 36 grand from those. Another good way you can actually make money is doing all of these speed traps around the map, which I do believe if you actually get the 3rd star on them, I think they pay 50,000. So if you actually did every single one, that would probably be a lot of money just right there if you did end up doing those. The other way you can also make money, though, is going to be the instant challenges, which, is a duelist event, which you're going to do against another player for like 50,000. That would probably be insane, but then again, players might not actually do 50k that often because making 50k from the events might take a while. So here's the reason I was thinking about this, though. If we are looking at some of the events around the map, so right here, guys, I'll spawn into this here quick. So looking at this, you're going to notice something. So I have most of the races completed, and all of them are going to have a small trend to them. Now, I do want to mention this once again, though, that yes, this is going to be the beta, so who knows, maybe the actual game itself might be a tad different than how the races are designed with what they pay, or maybe they're going to have different bonuses and stuff in them. I will definitely be looking at that on day one, guys. Stay tuned for lots of content on that stuff, and I will probably be doing some money methods as well. But when looking at the events here, you're going to notice that each one of them pay $15,000. A lot of players might be like, well, that's okay though. Like, you can just find your favorite event or, find the fastest event and keep farming it. Funny thing is, guys, if you are wondering which event is going to be great to farm in the beta, well, that is actually going to be on the docks here. This event can be completed in around 1 minute and 10 seconds with basically most of the vehicles you might have, like the Mustang or the Alpine, and you get around 15k. So, so far that event is probably going to be one of the better ones. But if every single event, though, does pay $15,000, is that going to be a problem? The reason why I'm asking this question, guys, is heading back over to a certain dealership. Let's go right over to the luxury one now. Obviously, the car isn't in there, but take a look for a second how much the Koenigsegg RS is. $6,435,000 to get it. So yes, if you were actually grinding out certain events and stuff like the one for 15 grand, you are probably going to be here for a very long time to get it. I am also willing to bet that the Bugatti is going to cost more than the Koenigsegg when that thing can actually be 7 to 8 million. At least I wouldn't doubt it, and that would probably make sense. Now, do you guys actually think this is going to be an issue? Like, if most of the races are paying 15k, is that really going to be a problem? Now, I do think the more you actually progress through the game and like level up and stuff with like these sharps or like the street and stuff like that, that you're most likely going to get bonuses or like more money and stuff. Leveling up, you're probably going to get money in certain things like that. So I wouldn't say it's necessarily going to be a terrible thing because there's probably going to be multiple ways to make money. On top of that, though, the other way you can make money is finding some of these right here that are going to be the solar coins. In the beta, they paid 12,000. Maybe in the actual game, they might get 15 in certain areas. Who knows? But these are also going to be all over the entire map, and they are going to be a great way to make some extra money there on top of doing the events and doing the actual speed traps and stuff. Now, the thing is, though, guys, I would say right now that if you actually do the entire speed trap, this is probably going to be one of the best ways to make money. As I did mention before, you guys will see right there that the 1 star is 5,000, 2 stars is 15, and 3 stars is 30. So if you actually did the 3rd star right away, guys, you don't do the 1st or 2nd one, you will make a total of $50,000. You'll then get 5 and then 15 and 30 if you do them separately, or maybe your car isn't fast enough to do all of them. So I would say doing the speed traps is going to be a great way to make money on this. I mean, these are legitimately everywhere, and we still do not have most of the other map even unlocked yet, so who knows, maybe there's going to be even more of them. That way you can make even more money as quickly as possible. Then again, on top of that, though, it is going to play into a small part to where you won't be able to get a maxed out 3 stars on every single speed trap, simply because your car is not fast enough. But at least you can actually get 1 or 2 stars, like even with the Mustang and the Alpine, I was able to get 2 to 3 stars on most of the said speed traps, and I did notice on like maybe 60% of them or so, I was able to get around 2 stars on basically a lot of them, which is going to be 20 grand, man. Like that adds up if you do 10 or 15 of those, and then on top of doing all the speed traps, you'll then be able to drive around, grab all of those solar coins spread around the entire map, so at least it is going to give you multiple ways to actually make money when you are driving around and stuff. And also, guys, you can make money by driving on the highways, going quick, drifting, getting close to cars, so at least it gives you that way as well on top of everything else. I'm just really wondering how the races are going to be though. Like, are they going to keep every single race 15 grand, or some of them are going to be upgraded a tad, maybe being 20, 25, depending on which races they are? I feel like it is going to be the beta aspect, so who knows, maybe in the actual game the races might end up paying more money, and the $15,000 thing we're seeing might be something that's just in the beta. Again, guys, when the actual game comes out, we can take a closer look at it and see how they actually do it. Now, the other thing I did want to talk about with this, though, is going to come down to the simple thing of progression. Do you actually like the way they are doing this? I'm going to admit this right off the bat. I do like the fact that you can't buy every single car within around 5 to 6 races in the game, or, barely starting the game out, you're always driving some insane cars because there's no progression to it. I do know other racing games have suffered through this, like it isn't hard to get them, and players actually want to have a sense of progression to where they have to do races like, yo, this car is going to be $2 million, I want it, but in order for me to get that, I'm going to have to do some speed traps, find some solar coins, maybe do some of the daily challenges, then jump into a bunch of races, and I can actually buy that car, and boom, once I get it, I'll then have to progress to the next car and keep collecting them over and over again. I just feel like having actual progression in a game is a good way to do it, which honestly sounds really weird saying that out loud. Like, did I actually just say having progression in a game is good? Who would have thought of that? My goodness. But I do have to say it though, I am excited to see how they do end up doing this in the game when it does come out. I do also know that one blog post a while ago was saying that you're not going to jump in and have the Bugatti in like an hour unless there's going to be a crazy money glitch, which I would not doubt if people find those. Hopefully they're actually going to be on top of it if people do end up finding them, because even after all that, guys, in Motorfest there was money methods in there and they ended up nerfing all of them, even though I really wouldn't say they're actually going to be a glitch or some sort, but more of the fact of the developers messing up those set events and not realizing that you could farm them or make money insanely quick. I do wonder if that's going to happen in Solar Crown. Biggest thing is, only time is going to tell. In the actual release though, guys, I am going to try to find the best events you can grind in, the fastest ways to make decent money in the beginning of it, so do stay tuned for those videos in the near future. But do let me know what you think about this in the comments below. Will this end up being something along the lines of, yo, this is actually going to be too hard to make money, or is it going to be on the side of, yo, I actually like the progression, keep it the way that it is? Yes, there's going to be a lot of different ways to make money, but there's also going to be a great feeling of progression.